This looks like a pretty steep drop off. Look at that. I didn't see anyone wearing a safety vest, hard hat. So morning of delivery, we made it up to Quick Trip there in Conroe. So they didn't have any parking, but we're along the side here. There's a tow truck parked in front of me for like 2 hours last night. I thought he was gonna try to put a boot on me or like start messing with the trucks over here. And then everybody else showed up. About an hour till we take off. I'm just, there it is. Just checking on things. Well, they said somebody can let us in the gate at 7, so I'm gonna go ahead and get up there about 7. Oh, there we go.
Turn right onto North I-45 frontage road. Keep left to merge onto I-45 North.
I've only got 4 miles to the next stop. I had to put a pin. There's some traffic at the exit we were going to take. So it tried to route me around a different way.
Take exit 92 onto F and 830 and 7 Coves Road. Turn right, then the first stop is on your right. Your next stop is 10,300.
And this isn't even the final. I had to use 3 pins because I guess there's an entrance from 2 different roads. So it wanted me to use the entrance on 7 Coves, whatever this road is, I think. So I had to direct it down to Silver Springs
At the next
Road.
light, turn right.
That's what when I talked to them, they said that's where you need to come in at. Guess all the kids are getting dropped off for school this morning. That's why she was trying to route me around it. But this is, I'm 99% sure this is where we're supposed to be though. And hopefully, they really discourage you from driving down here.
Turn left, then arrive at your destination.
I think this is it. Straight in and then back around. So
Arrived. where that door is back there. I'm just trying to get
facing the right direction, and then I'll line it up afterwards. I think I'm gonna be way too far over to the left. Yeah. Yep, we are. So we gotta go into that big door down there at the bottom of the hill. About wearing shorts or hard hat or anything. Maybe I won't have to put any pants on here. That'd be pretty nice. If my trailer doesn't get stuck coming over this looks like a pretty steep drop off. Like 2 or 3 extra inches. Guess I don't need to be in here. Gravity should be all we need. The other thing is at the bottom is my bumper gonna be hitting. I don't hear it. I imagine I'm not the first low pro step to come in here. Tarps off because it's not set up on blocks. I gotta me go up here and get to where a crane can pick it up and I can throw some chunks of wood under it, and then I'll come back down here. So I just left my tarps on the ground back there.
It's fine with me, promise that it's fine.
At the next stop sign, turn right.
I didn't see anyone wearing a safety vest, hard hat, nothing like that. I wore shorts the whole time I was in there. So that's the quickest way to judge how smart the executives at a company are, is how much do they focus on all these safety rules. Generally, the more focused on safety they are, the less smart they are. Or they just don't have the courage to use common sense.
At the stop sign, turn right onto North Fraser Street. Then take the first left onto FM 830.
So they're comfortable making bad decisions because, you know, their attorney said there's a chance that if this happens, and that could be bad for us. So everybody at the whole company has to suffer. Everybody's got to waste time. I'm not talking about if there's a real safety concern. I mean, if you're in a chemical plant, I mean, there's plenty of situations where
at the lake, turn left onto FM 830.
You'd be stupid not to have some safety rules, you know? But I'm talking about the vast majority of places. Like if you're bumping a dock at a GM warehouse or something, and you're just gonna walk in and talk to shipping, and then you're gonna sit in your truck and they make you put on your whole safety costume just to go talk to the receiving manager or something like that. And the smaller the company is, when they start adding a bunch of unnecessary safety rules, the dumber the executives or the owners of the company are. I mean, you kind of give them a pass if they're a mega, huge corporation. They've got shareholders and they've got a bunch of other people's money to worry about that they're responsible for. But if you're like a medium or small business and you start implementing safety rules just because you're scared of the what if, the off chance of this random event happening. So I'm just heading up to the house. I'm gonna do on the other channel. I'm gonna do a video on the safety audit. That's what I'm going home for. I might fail the audit. Who knows? But if you're interested in, like, if you're an owner operator and you're thinking about getting your authority, go check out the Trucking Matters, the other channel. I'll do videos on all that kind of stuff. IFTA stuff. I've already done some IFTA videos, New York Hunt videos, just all the different stuff involved in getting your numbers and what you got to deal with after you have your numbers. I talked to one of the guys in there. I don't know if he seemed like one of the upper level managers or maybe owner, I don't know, VP, something like that. But he was saying, I was asking him what to use the generators for, and he said cities and counties, hospitals, I think they're mostly used as like a backup power supply. If the grid goes down, hospitals still need electricity, so all the hospitals have to have a backup power source, so they do. I think that's what those are for, and they deal with some of the same type of regulations like we deal with in the trucking industry. He said I think they're gonna have to put a new engine in that or something, but he was in between, like he was having to make a decision on doing work here or sending it off to I think it's somewhere in Europe. I think it's a Volvo engine in there, but they're EPA, certified engines, so that's what they were looking at on that unit there that I dropped off. And I guess they had some issues with tarps. They were asking me how to keep the tarps from, like, I guess scratching the paint or tearing things up. just showed them like how I had all my bungees set up. They're all on the outside with the hooks facing out. You know, I explained to them that's about the best you can do, but nothing will keep them from really flapping, and you know, depends on how sensitive the material or product is underneath it. And they had shrink wrapped. I think whenever they're sending units out, they may shrink wrap them with those big bags, shrink wrap material. But I told him I used to do jet engines quite a bit, and not all of them, but a lot of the jet engines, they don't even let you use bungees at all. You have to thread, you have to run rope through all your D-rings or the little eyelet things, the grommets, you know, because there's really no way to prevent, you know, those bungees from flapping around. And I mean, it's, even if it's not making direct contact, even if it's like flapping and banging up against the side of something, that can still scratch or, you know, take paint off and stuff. And it helps if you know, if you throw straps. That's what I normally do, is I'll throw straps over the top, and that helps just hold the tarps in place. That kind of makes up for my lack of tarping skills. But I didn't do it on these, and I'm glad I didn't, because he said, yeah, we don't like, those would crush, you know, the outer, whatever that little outer housing shell was. And the guy on the shipping end, he said they really don't like, they prefer not to have tarps on when they come in, because they've had, you know, the bungees have scratched things up. It'd be nice if there was just a way to not have to tarp any loads. I looked at, when I was doing those engines, I looked at briefly getting a custom, like a fitted tarp, instead of having to run rope and stuff through everything. Just getting like a custom tarp made for jet engines that were, you know, shaped and sized properly to fit maybe the bigger ones, like the Boeing, you know, the ones that like their GE engines that they use on the bigger Boeing jets, and I mean maybe the Airbus as well. But if you get a custom fitted tarp that'll work for the biggest engine, then, you know, it should still work for the smaller ones. You may just have to tidy it up, you know, around the bottoms, or squeeze things in a little bit, but it still should save you some time. And I looked at that, but I never pulled the trigger on it. I always just use these 10-foot tarps and end up with a whole bunch of excess to mess with. If you got any quick tips on saving time tarping, my rule of thumb is get it on there, get things covered up, and then kind of, I've normally just finished tarping it along the way. Like I said, when I picked up, I don't know if you watched the video when I picked up, but I kind of let the wind find weak points, and then I'll pull off and add bungees as the wind exposes weak points in the tarp job. I mean, I try to not ever do a tarp job, but this was coming out of Arizona, I don't know if I made any money on the load. I probably did a little better to break even, but that's Arizona. You got to make your money going in and then take what you can get coming out, or just deadhead. So I made the decision to get paid a little bit coming out of there this time.
In about 10 miles, turn left onto Southwest Stallings Drive.
Y'all take care. I'll see you next time.